guys, welcome back once again to Teacher Tea Time. I am Carmen Langston, and today I'm coming at you with a new kind of video on literacy interventions that you can do within your classroom. I'm going to show you a program that I have been using for the past few years, and it is just something that I found from a friend from my first year of teaching. So my district has its own literacy curriculum in place, and it's based around the Reading First model, and it is comprehensive literacy. And then they also give us suggestions for things that we can do for small groups. But what I was finding is that the activities for me became a little bit stale. They were kind of the same old thing over and over, just a little slower paced, and I wanted something that was new and fresh. And so I thought back to that first year of teaching and a curriculum that one of my friends used, and I thought, let me give this a shot, maybe for small groups, and that is animated literacy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Animated literacy is a program primarily for kindergarten and first graders, especially for those who are struggling to master letters and sounds just within your regular lessons. So the times that I would use these are for like mid-year kindergarten, when you've been teaching letters for quite some time and you have that group of kids who are just not catching on, or beginning of the year's first grade, whenever you've had kids transition from kindergarten into first and they don't have a good foundation of letter names or letter sounds. They don't have good application of how to put those sounds together to form words, and they may not have a good knowledge of things like digraphs, vowel teams, vowel digraphs, and this program covers all of those things. So I want to show you today how this program works and how each thing is covered. Okay, so why did I choose animated literacy, you say, for my classroom program? Well, what I found was I needed something that was going to harness all of those different areas of learning. We have many different styles of learners in our classroom, and luckily animated literacy meets all of those different kinds of learning. You're going to be moving, you're going to be singing, you're going to have some rote repetition, you're going to have the audio, you're going to have the visual. So there's all kinds of different modalities that are going to help these kids solidify that information that you're trying to teach them, and it's going to get it from short-term memory and transferred it over into the long-term so that they can have application of those skills. So that's what we're going for. So the way that I do this program may not be the way that it was intended, because I've never been formally trained on animated literacy. What I've done is I basically went and I bought this book and one other, and I bought the CD of the songs. And I found that you don't really need the CD, and I didn't need the other book. I only need this book to be able to do the program that I'm going to show you how to do today. And I have basically just taken it and ran with it the way that I best knew how. There is a lot in the front that explains the components of animated literacy, the research behind it, the rationale for animated literacy. And this was written by Jim Stone. I know that they still do professional developments, and they're located out of California. But this book that I have is the Animated Alphabet Story, Song, and Action Book by Jim Stone. And this book will cost you about $50, and you can order it online at animatedliteracy.com. I have seen some versions of it through Amazon, but the price was like increased, so I would recommend you just going straight to the source and getting it straight off of animatedliteracy.com. And then in the back they have an order form if you want to order more stuff from them. They do have some alphabet cards and just the different characters that they use, which I'll show you in a minute, in color. If you wanted to print those and use them like as your alphabet strip around the room, they do have that available as well. So the next thing I want to do is kind of go through the program with you and show you how I use it. And what I'm going to do, since I really need a student to be able to interact with for this video, and it's Thanksgiving break right now and the building is empty. I don't have any kids that I can film with. So I've brought my daughter here today, and she is going, She's a 4th grader, but she's going to pretend to be a 1st grader who is struggling with application of letters and sounds, and I'm going to go through the program and start where I would, just like as if this were a kindergartner or a 1st grader. I start at the same point because I don't know where the gaps are in their learning, so I want to cover everything. And I'm going to show you what I would do on day 1, how I would move into day 2, how I would move into day 3, and then after that, I'm going to transition into what it would look like after I had been teaching the program for a few weeks. And the students have began to pick up and get more fluent with the lessons. Alright, we are ready to begin small groups day 1. So on the first day that you're going to introduce animated literacy to your small group, you can work with a group of up to 5 students all the way down to 1 student. I have noticed that whenever you get down to 1 student, they're a little bit more reluctant to participate because we are going to be moving and we're going to be singing, and a lot of kids get a little uncomfortable when it's just you and them and they have to, you know, kind of sing and be silly and participate. They're more likely to want to do that whenever they're with a group of their peers. So I do recommend you have at least 2 students to work with. The first lesson that you're going to teach in animated literacy, and I've just marked my page here with a little paper clip that has one of these little flags on it, is the letter P. And what they've done is they've chosen the letters in an order that are easy for kids to remember, easy for kids to produce that sound, and then you're going to teach a consonant and a vowel. And then on day 3, you're going to take those 2 consonant, or that consonant and that vowel, those 2 letters, and you're going to put those together to teach the students how to make a word. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and without further ado, Lily and I are going to model day 1. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
Today we're going to learn a new animated literacy character, and her name is Polly Panda. This is Polly Panda, and she goes with the letters P, P. I'm going to read you her story. It goes like this. In far-off China, there once lived a panda named Polly. Polly Panda wanted to go to preschool, but school was too far away for her to walk or to go by car or bus. A pilot offered to fly Polly to school in his airplane, but when they arrived, there was no place for the plane to land. So Polly Panda parachuted onto the playground of Penelope's prim and proper preschool, where she joined all of the other children for their first day of school. When the parents at the preschool discovered that Polly Panda was quite a professional painter, they emptied their piggy banks and paraded to school with pennies in their pockets to purchase Polly's pretty pictures. Polly soon ran out of paper to paint on, so the parents brought pants with puffy pockets, backpacks, polka-dotted purses, pepperoni pizza pans, paper plates, packages filled with presents, prickly toy porcupines, and puppies, parrots, pigs, and penguins for Polly to decorate with her pink and purple paint. Polly Panda's paintings soon became so popular that she couldn't paint fast enough to please all of the parents. Polly solved her problem when she went to a baseball game, and she discovered that popular players often please people by printing their names with colorful pens and pencils. Now Polly autographs the things parents bring to her by painting a perfect pink or purple P on each item, and everyone is happy. This is Polly Panda. She goes with the letters P, P. This is her song. Just listen. Polly Panda painting purple peas. Polly paints her purple peas on pants and pizza pans. Peas for Polly, painting purple peas. Painting peas on packages and plates and porcupines. When you see Polly Panda or the letter P, P, think of painting. Pretend to hold a paintbrush in your hand and make a P and say Polly's sound like this. P says P. Now you. P says P. Again. P says P. Well done. And that would be the only activity that you would do with the student on day 1. Next, I'm going to model for you what I would do on day 2. The first thing that I would do is review day 1. I would review the character and see if the student could recall her name. I would review the 2 letters that go with that character. I would review the action and sound, and I would encourage the student to sing along if they could. Obviously, they've only heard the song once, so on day 2, they're probably not going to be able to sing a lot of the words. But each day when you teach animated literacy, you're going to go back to the previous lessons taught, review those action, sound, character, and sing the song. And then you're going to build on that with your next character. So the next thing that I'm going to model is what you would do on day 2. Welcome back, Lily.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're going to learn a new animated literacy character today. But before we do that, we're going to look at the one we learned yesterday. Do you remember who this is?
Polly Panda.
That's right. And do you remember the 2 letters that Polly Panda goes with?
P.
P. P. They're both P. This is the capital and this is the lowercase. Let's do the action and sound for letter P. Ready? Hold your paintbrush in your hand. P says P. Good. Again. P says P. Again. P says P. Very good. Now we're going to sing Polly's Panda song. If you remember any of the words, you can sing along with me, okay? This will help you remember the story as well. Polly Panda painting purple peas. Polly paints her purple peas on pants and pizza pans. Peas for Polly, painting purple peas. Painting peas on packages and plates and porcupines. When you see Polly Panda or the letter P, think of painting and pretend to hold that paintbrush in one hand while you make a P and say, P says P. Well done. Today, we're going to learn a new animated literacy character. This is Uncle Upton. Say Uncle Upton? Say his name. Uncle Upton.
Uncle Upton.
Listen to the beginning of his name. Uncle Upton. What sound do you hear that's the same?
U.
What sound is it though? You hear at the beginning of both of those words, don't you? The letter that says and goes with Uncle Upton is the letters U, and this is the lowercase u. U for Uncle Upton. I'm going to tell you Uncle Upton's story. Listen carefully. When Uncle Upton was a little boy, he dreamed of growing up to become a professional baseball player. But when he grew up, Uncle Upton was not able to play baseball. Instead of playing baseball, Uncle Upton bought a farm in Upland where he grew onions that were as round and wide as baseballs. Uncle Upton liked to toss the onions up into the air and catch them before he chopped the onions up to make utterly delicious onion soup and sell in his restaurant. One day, Uncle Upton was upset when he learned that there was no place for the children of Upland to play baseball. So he made a baseball field on top of his patch of onions that grew underground. When Uncle Upton ushered the children onto the baseball field, he volunteered to umpire their game. But he soon discovered that there was no room for an umpire to stand behind home plate. What's he going to do? Let's see. There was no room for Uncle Upton to stand because there was a huge umbrella tree standing right where the umpire should stand. So Uncle Upton climbed up into the umbrella tree. There was quite an uproar of uncontrollable laughter when the children looked up and saw Uncle Upton hanging upside down over home plate, ready to umpire their first game. Now people come from miles around to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and point up to Uncle Upton, the only upside down umpire in all of baseball. This is Uncle Upton. He hangs upside down from the umbrella tree and he goes with these letters, U, U. This is Uncle Upton's song. Just listen. Uncle Upton's upside down, up in his umbrella tree, hanging upside down. U is for Uncle, hanging upside down. He umpires games while upside down, up in the umbrella tree. When you see Uncle Upton or the letters U, U, think of Uncle Upton and point up to where he hangs upside down and make Uncle Upton sound like this. Now you. Again. Very good. So on day 2 of animated literacy, that's all you would do. You would review the first letter that you had taught, the letter P, the action, the sound, and the song. You would teach Uncle Upton and the letter U. You would go over the story and the action and sound and the song. And now you're ready for day 3. On day 3, the student is ready to take the 2 letters that you've taught and put them together to make a word. In your lesson planning book, the way that I have been getting the stories is just like this. Since it's spiral bound, it folds over, and the story and lesson plan is on the back for me. And then you're just holding this page forward for the student to be able to see the picture as you read. Now, on to page 3, or day 3 rather, you're going to be teaching your student how to draw and write a pup. And your occupational therapists are going to love you for this, because you're going to work on fine motor. You're going to work on the fact that they have to look up at something and transfer it down. Now, animated literacy does provide you with this, like where you can copy it and make it off into a worksheet, and they can follow the steps, draw it here, and then they can cut and glue a little sentence that says the pup is up. But I changed that up, and I'm going to use this for my reference only. I'm going to use my foldable mini easel that's dry erase, and then I'm just going to use story paper for the student, and they're going to be following along with me, and that way they have to recall from memory those sounds that you've taught in the 2 previous days and put those together to make a word. So the next thing that we're going to model for you is day 3. Okay, Lily, here's your pencil. And my easel is well loved, so it's really nice and dirty, but it gets the job done. All right, Lily, I want you to think back to the animated literacy lessons that we have been doing over the past few days. Guess what we're going to get to do today?
What?
We are going to take the 2 letters that you have learned, and I am going to teach you how to spell a word and how to draw a picture. And don't be nervous, because you're not going to have to know how to do it all on your own. All you're going to have to do is watch me right here, and whatever I do, you're going to copy, okay? So today I'm going to teach you how to draw and write this pup right here. Sound good? All right. So I'm going to do these one step at a time, and all you have to do is follow along, okay?
Okay.
The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to draw 2 little circles side by side, kind of right here in the middle, and 1 little circle down underneath it about that same size. Now I want you to draw right here in your picture box, right here in the center.
Okay.
Good. All right, let's move on to step 2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 smaller circles sitting down in the middle of those bigger circles that I just drew. Go ahead and do that. And that will make his eyes. And then I'm going to connect my pencil right here to the bottom of the nose. I'm going to go down, scoop up, go back to the center, down, scoop up. Now you. Good. Okay. Now we're going to give Pup some eyelids. We're going to go on top of his eyes and make a little hump and another hump on top of each eye. Now you. Good. Now Pup has those saggy looking puppy eyes. Now we're going to go like this. We're going to make a circle around Pup's head to give him a face. And I'm going to add dot, 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 some freckles on each side, just a few dots on each side. Good. And we're going to go down here and we're going to add a tongue. Good. All right, now the next thing that Pup needs, he needs ears. The way that I'm going to make his ears, I'm going to start right here in the center of his head, And I'm going to make, watch first, don't start yet, watch me first. I'm going to make a wiggly line go straight out. So I'm going to go wiggle, 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 about that far. Now you. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to touch in the center, wiggly line straight out. Good. Now I'm going to touch here on the end, and I'm going to make another wiggly line go down, right in line with Pup's chin. Same thing on the other side. Wiggly line goes down in line with Pup's chin. And I'm going to make my wiggly line go across and come up and connect. Good, right there. Same thing on the other side. Wiggly line comes across and up and connect. Good. Now Pup has some ears. Now we're going to give Pup a body. I'm going to make kind of a box type shape. And the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to start here on his ears. I'm going to go down, across, up, like that. Good. Now I'm going to separate that line by a small line in the middle, like that. Now we're going to give Pup some paws. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 little lines on each side. You got it? Now Pup needs a tail. Here's how I make a tail. It's going to be kind of like a banana shape. I'm going to start right down here where his feet are, and I'm going to go scoop up, scoop down. Now you. Scoop up, scoop down. That away. Alright, now Pup is all drawn. Are you ready to spell Pup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. In order to figure out how to spell a word, we have to use segmenting. That's where we're going to count the sounds in the word, and then we're going to pound the sounds together to make a word. So today we're going to write pup. Say pup.
Pup.
Alright, get your fingers ready to segment. Put your pencil down. Ready? Pup. P. Say it with me. P. Pup.
Pup.
Good, let's do it again. Now you know what to do. Ready? Let's segment. P. Pup.
Pup.
Alright, now are we ready to put it together to make a word?
Yeah.
What was the first sound?
Pup.
What should we write for P?
P.
P. Okay, so up here by your pup, I want you to write the P. Now let's go to the next sound in pup. Ready? Let's segment again. P. What letter says
U.
Okay, let's write U. Good. Now let's go to the next sound.
P.
P again. Let's make sure we have all the sounds. Let's segment it all the way through and pound the word. Are you ready? Here we go. Pup. That's what we have. All right. Circle the word pup. And draw a line to Pup to label him. And now you've labeled your picture. Very good. Now, if you were teaching kindergarten, this would be the point where I would stop. So they only need to know at this point, if they're, some of your low babies, how to put a CVC word together, and that's great. They've just worked really hard for you if they've drawn this picture, segmented, put a CVC word together, and they're going to feel very successful. But if you're teaching first grade, I would recommend that you go ahead and add a little sentence, and we do that down here. On the story paper, you have your sentence lines, so I would give the students the sentence. I would dictate to them what we were going to write. So we're going to go ahead and take it to the next level and pretend like Lily is in the first grade. I'm going to erase my picture. And sometimes you'll have kids who won't even realize that they can recall upon their picture once they get into their sentence. Sometimes you'll have kids who won't even realize that they can look back to their picture and their label and see how to spell that word. So you're kind of going to be looking for that. Do they realize that they have made themselves a little anchor here that they can call back on, or are they going to resegment that word? So you're going to watch for that. Okay, let's get back into the lesson. All right, Lily, we're going to write a sentence now about pup. We're going to write the pup is up. So I'm going to draw some lines on my board, but I do not want you to draw lines. This is just for us to be able to see how many words we're going to be writing today, okay?
Okay.
We're going to write the pup is up. All right, now as I touch each line, I want you to say the sentence with me. Are you ready? Here we go. The pup is up. One more time. The pup is up. Okay, so you see I've got spaces between each line. That's because we're going to put a finger space between each word, okay? Let's start with the first word. What's the first word?
The.
The. Okay, we can find the on our word wall over here. You see the?
On the letter T.
That's right, it's under the letter T. How do we spell the?
T-H-E.
Very good, and we're going to start our sentence with a capital letter. Go ahead and write the word the for your first word. Well done. Now I'll write my word. Capital T H E. The. What's the next word?
Pup.
Pup. Let's see if you can write pup by yourself. Good. You copied it from here. And if you didn't, you can just go, you can segment. You can make each sound one at a time. Pup. Pup. Like Polly Panda, and like Uncle Upton. The pup is, that's another one of our sight words. Do you know how to spell is?
I-S.
Very good. And we can also find it on the word wall. Well done. I-S, is. The pup is
Up.
up. Okay, let's see if you can segment up, because that's a new word. That's not a sight word for us. So let's segment up.
Up. Up.
Very good. Now write those sounds. Very good. You wrote like Uncle Upton, like Polly Panda, and then what does the sentence need at the end?
A period.
All right, let's put a period. Okay, now together we're going to touch and read our sentence. Are you ready? Put your finger under the first word. Let's read. The pup is up. Now you touch and read your sentence for me.
The pup is up.
Good job. Did you enjoy that?
Mm-hmm.
Now you know how to draw and write a pup, and you might like to draw and write a pup story in your journal today. And you can use what you know about Polly Panda and Uncle Upton to help yourself spell some new words.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that's where you would end on day 3. So now your student has the confidence to be able to at least put together 2 sounds that they've made at least a couple of words with. They've made pup and they've made up. So they can have something to draw back on whenever they go to that independent writing. And she did a good job using the word wall, which is also something that you're going to encourage during that guided writing process. The next thing I'm going to show you is what it will look like after you have implemented animated literacy and you've been going for several weeks. Your kids have learned several animated literacy characters. They've learned how to draw and write several of the different picture and story, or drawing and writing lessons. And what we're going to do, we're not going to draw and write them again, but we are going to practice that active segmenting and blending it back together. And we're going to be going really at a fast pace now. So next section is going to be, I would say, after you've been teaching animated literacy for at least 3 weeks. So stay tuned for that, because the next part is going to go pretty quick. Okay, so here we go with the lesson, what it would look like if you had been teaching animated literacy for several weeks. So Lily does not know all of these actions and sounds except for the ones that I just taught her a few moments ago. So on the parts that she doesn't know, I'm just going to do the answers. But you're going to see how this is going to go at kind of a rapid pace. Alright? Here's how we begin. Do you remember who this is?
Polly Panda.
Good. What 2 letters?
P. P.
No, tell me the letter names.
P. P.
Good. Action and sound. P says P. Do it with me.
P says P.
Again.
P says P.
Let's sing. Polly Panda painting purple peas. Polly paints her purple peas on pants and pizza pans. Peas for Polly, painting purple peas. Painting peas on packages and plates and porcupines. Good. Who's this?
Uncle Upton.
Good. What two letters?
U, U.
Action and sound? Let's sing. Uncle Upton's upside down. Up in the umbrella tree, hanging upside down. Just listen. U is for Uncle, hanging upside down. He umpires games while upside down, up in the umbrella tree. Now, I told her to just listen because she doesn't actually know these songs yet. All right, remember when we learned how to draw and write pup? Let's segment pup. Ready, go.
P.
Pup. Let's do it again. You got to say the sounds. She's a 4th grader. She doesn't know to say the sounds. Let's do it again. Pup. Pup. Good. All right. Now for the rest of this, Lily's going to have no clue, so I'm going to do the answering. So, Lily, you're dismissed. These are what you would say to your students. Who is this? They would say, Ollie Ostrich. What two letters? O. Action and sound? Ah. Let's sing. Ollie Ostrich, Ollie says, say ah. To the otter and the ox and to the octopus. O's for Ollie, Ollie operates on olives for his omelets and offers them to all. Remember when we learned how to draw and write pop? Show me how you can segment pop. Pop. Very good. What do we write for p? P. What do we write for ah? O. And what do we write for p again?
P.
P-O-P. Pop. Who is this?
A mermaid.
Mimi Mermaid. What two letters? M. Action and sound? Let's sing. Mimi Mermaid moving her magic mop. As Mimi moves her magic mop, the monsters march to mud. M's for Mimi moving her magic mop. She marches monsters into mud and melts them into mice. Remember when we learned how to draw and write mom? Let's segment mom. Mom. Very good. What do you write for M? What do you write for ah? O. What do you write for M? M-O-M. Mom. Good. Who is this? Max the Ox and Felix Fox. Very good. What two letters? X. Action and sound? X. Good. Let's sing. Felix wanted to relax with Max the Ox, but the Ox wanted to box in their box of wax. Felix ends with X, so does Max the Ox. The fox wanted to relax with Max, but the ox wanted to box. Then we learned how to draw and write an ox. Let's segment ox. Ox. What do we write for ah? O. What do we write for x? X. Good. O-X. Ox. Now we've learned how to draw and write several different things. And today I'm going to teach you a new character. And her name is Actress Annie. This is Actress Annie. She goes with these letters. A. So you get the idea. You're going through the lessons, you're reviewing the ones that you've previously taught, and I like this one because it also teaches the typeset A, so that's good. They get the experience with that. And what I do as I go back to the ones that of the words where they've learned how to draw and spell the words is we are just reviewing how to segment those words as quickly as possible, and I am looking if they can call back that letter after they've segmented. So that's how I use animated literacy. I have had a 99% success rate with using this program with low performing learners. So if you also have low performing learners and the things that you do you find they're just not working, then you might try the animated alphabet and see if that's something that works for you. Once you get into the older grades, they do have lessons, and when I say older grades I mean 1st grade or even up to 2nd grade. If you have those 2nd graders who are having trouble with things like vowel digraphs and things of that nature, they do have lessons for those. Let me grab one really quick back here. Like, for example, if you have students who have trouble hearing the sounds O-R, they have that that digraph for that, the or sound. And then there's, of course, SH, CH. There's lessons for EIGH, NG, OW, OO. All of the different sounds that you're looking for your students to learn are in here, especially ones that they have trouble with, and they have to memorize those sounds to be able to put them together to make a word. So I have more information about this on my blog. If you want to read more about it, you can find my blog at carmenskinders.blogspot.com. That's Carmen, C-A-R-M-E-N-S, for Carmen's, Kinders, K-I-N-D-E-R-S, .blogspot.com, and I do have a blog on there about animated literacy, so you can check that out. And like I said, they have a website. And once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, please subscribe. Give me a like, because that gets my content out to other YouTube users and it helps my channel. So I would say goodbye now. Signing off from Arkansas. Thanks for tuning in to Teacher Tea Time. Bye.